Hej och välkomna till ännu en intervju med mig och min vän Lisa J. Lisa J. Pankhurst är en holistisk utövare och andlig guide som specialiserar sig på energihealing, mentalitetscoaching och transformativa terapier. Med en passion för att hjälpa individer i medelåldern att bryta sig loss från utbrändhet och återupptäcka glädje kombinerar Lisa gammal visdom med moderna metoder såsom livsaktivering, reiki och helig geometri. Hennes arbete ger kunderna möjlighet att anpassa sig till sitt sanna syfte och skapa liv fyllda av överflöd, frid och vitalitet. Baserad i Milton Keynes är Lisa dedikerad till att vägleda andra på deras resa till helande och självhet. Så byter vi till engelska för själva intervjun. Hello, Lisa, and thank you for taking the time.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's nice to be here.
My absolute pleasure. We're talking about the life activation today.
Yes, life activation. Wow.
Yeah. So,
Um, what would you like to know about the life activation?
oh, I have some questions. So let's begin
Okay.
with the first one. So, I would like you, if you could share a little bit about why you chose to receive the life activation in the first place.
Okay, so I received my life activation would have been two, nearly 3 years ago. It was just coming out of COVID. I'd been in a very apathetic, kind of lost place for a couple of years because in the UK, my industry, I was doing a lot of beauty treatments and a lot of close contact. And I was unable to work for almost 2 years. And I found myself back in the grips of depression, anxiety. I felt very lost because my work isn't just a job. Like I put everything into my work. And I'd been a complementary therapist at that point for 20 years, and I just felt detached from everything, and I couldn't find a way out. I felt very, very lost. The darkness was everywhere. And I took some solace in, I found Gaia, the streaming channel, and I found Ipsissima Divina Teresa's show, Mystery Teachings. And it was, it was like a light at the end of the tunnel. Like it brought something to me. And she talked about the mystery school tradition, the modern mystery school. I didn't realize it was a thing. I didn't realize it was an entity. So I reached out to her admin and they put me in contact with Ipsissima Divina Kate, who is my guide. And she did my life activation for me. So I reached out and I was like, I don't know why, but I need to speak to you. I need to come. I need this life activation because on some level, I understood that that was what I needed. And I traveled to London, absolute riddled with anxiety, was very stressed out, a very different person than the one that, you've met. Um, and it was the single most life-changing decision I've ever made in my life.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
That's
Sissima
okay.
Divina Kate is actually my guide as well. So
Oh, okay.
we share
Yeah.
that as well. So going from this like deep understanding without um, consciousness of understanding why did you choose to go forward one more step to like receive the tools to actually offer the life activation for others?
Well, um, once I had my life activation literally on that same day, for the first time in my life, that constant chatter, that there was peace in my mind. There was peace in my being. And even as a complementary therapist, I've offered sessions to people for a long time, but nothing had been that impactful. Nothing had been that immediate in literally stopping the negative talk, the negative ego from taking over everything. And in that moment, at the very end, my life activation session, I said, I need to know how to do this. What do I need to do to progress to be able to offer this? Because this this is this works. This is bigger than just a feel good session. This is bigger than just, oh, have a massage. It helps you feel better. This is proper healing. I've been searching my entire life for this healing, for the quantum healing, the healing for the new paradigm. And I'd found it with the life activation.
Super glad you did. Really, really glad. So after, could you share a little bit about a little bit more about the changes that started happening in your life? Like say the first 6 to 12 months, depending on how fast it happened after you received a life activation.
Okay, so within a month, I'd done Empower Thyself and had my initiation, because I needed to know what happened, and I didn't know how I was going to make that work. And I'd been away for a couple of days, and I came home, and I'd actually on my doormat was a golden envelope, and I'd won the money that would cover the cost of the Empower Thyself. And that was my golden envelope, right? That was my invitation to step forward. So within the month, I'd done my Empower Thyself and initiation, and that really blew the doors off of a lot of things. But at the same time, I an understanding that I'd had and thoughts that I'd had throughout my life was suddenly presented to me, and I had this remembering. Um, so I had my life activation in the March. I did my Empower Thyself in April, and then the following October, I did my Healers Academy. So it was just natural progression. I just needed every step that I've taken. I want to know more. I want to know more. What's the next step? What's the next step? And it, without having that mind chatter, that kind of, negative ego that's trying to keep you in your comfort zone, without that voice ruling my everyday, suddenly I could see and I had clarity of where I needed to be, what I needed to do. And it was like, when you see a really old film and it's grainy, that's how I was living. It was in black and white. It was just not clear at all. The life activation and the initiation just made everything like 4K, ultra high definition. Like I could see where I needed to be. I could see where I wasn't needed to, where I didn't need to be. The relationships that I needed to invest my energy into, and the relationships that I needed to just, let go of the attachments from, and to move on. So it was more about an awareness of what was good for me, what I needed in order to help other people. And it all just became so clear and just obvious at that point that that's where I needed to go.
Super cool. I love when you find something and you just keep going and everything just gets better and better and better.
Yeah,
So
100%. It's like, um, how can I explain it? My whole life I've been drawn to, and even as a child, I was drawn to Dungeons and Dragons and to like role playing games. So the journey with the Modern Mystery School for me has been like I chose my character, and I've chosen, the tools that I want to bring in and the experience points and how I'm going to invest that energy into each of those different tools and which bits I want to grow first. And this quest that's unfolding before me. So it's like, it's just there and it just makes sense. It just, you know?
yeah, I love that. I can resonate with that a lot. So who would you say would benefit from a life activation in today's society, in the world we live in now? Who would benefit from a life activation?
Everybody, everybody. Um, I don't think there's one person that wouldn't benefit. We don't have to think of the next step and the next step and the next step. But everybody in their life right now has some level of dissatisfaction, of discontentment, detachment, apathy, all of these things that keep us, you know, inside ourselves and prevent us from connecting. And really, it's through connection that we find joy and we find love and we find the things that truly make us happy. So instead of trying to fulfill those things with um, I don't know, retail therapy, shopping and spending lots of money and doing all of these things that we try and fill the holes in our life with. The life activation brings in something, that sense of connection that's so deep that we can only then share it with other people because it's too much to contain inside. So every single person, every walk of life, no matter your background, you don't even have to be a spiritual person. You can think all of this is woo woo and all of this is fluff. But until you have that life activation, you're never going to know. And I don't want to be a person that doesn't want to, that doesn't know. Everybody should know what the potential is. And that one drop of light from the life activation changes everything.
Never try, never know. That's my
Absolutely. Absolutely.
one of my mottos. So I would like to again say thank you to Lisa for taking the time to come on here and share a little bit about your life. I'm sure it's going to help everybody you're supposed to help with this interview. So big thank you from me to you that you took the time, and thank you for everybody watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.